Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that is heating up some leftover news stories for you, much like you'll be heating up your Thanksgiving leftovers. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm popping out of my clothes still from yesterday.
And you can pour some gravy on any of us.
That's right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the show this week. We have a very special guest joining us once again, BJ Price of Skate, Ohio. BJ, how you doing, man?
You can pour some gravy on me. I'm doing well, fellas.
All right. Well, hey, before we get into our check'ems and the show and everything, BJ, you wanted to mention something with your nonprofit that you guys are going to be doing up in Richland County. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're in the Richland County area. We're based out of Mansfield, which is in Richland County, and we are doing an event with it's the Richland Foundation here in this area, and they have something that's called Richland Gives that they do every year, and it runs from November 18th through December 3rd, which is Giving Tuesday, and it's basically a way to get these nonprofits out there in front of people and just finding ways to partner with people and businesses, and people can go visit those pages and look at the good things that like we're doing in the community, and they can look at ways to partner with us. We have some opportunities on those pages that show different ways to partner with us through like for advertising and for these other things, and just find out what's the best way to help us continue doing those things.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Do you want to tell folks a little bit about your nonprofit, Skate, Ohio?
Yeah, absolutely. So we formed a little over a year ago now, and since the last time I've been on, we've gotten a lot done. We got a $50,000 donation from ArcelorMittal, who gave us that money to fix the Shelby skate park. So, and we just finished that project up, put the last obstacle in, but with help from local companies in that area and all these other amazing companies, we did roughly, it had to have been over $100,000 worth of work in material for under $50,000.
Wow.
Cool.
And really completely revitalized that skate park, revitalized that area. The neighbors are all just so happy with it. We saw just such they're seeing just such a big uptick in visitors to that park. People are coming from out of town, saw posts about it and wanted to skate a certain feature that we put in, and then they were like posting and tagging us. So it was just really cool to see that, oh man, this is a good thing. And it was all done by volunteers, mainly myself and my partner Adam McElroy were there doing a lot of the digging, the cutting, all that stuff. But then we had other people like Brent Christie, who he was such a huge help, a local there, Cam Riley, Sam Sides, Ben Stover, all these Shelby locals who helped us design and build and put all this stuff together. And then some other of our friends from Mansfield came and helped us do this last feature. So it's just a cool thing that we got to do. We'll be we do skate competitions. We do every year. We have a thing we call Winter Sessions, which is an indoor thing we get to do at the Crossroads Church in Ontario. They let us use the gym, put ramps in there, and every Friday night from February to April, we get to skate inside on those last few months where you're all in Ohio. We understand. It just those are the bluesy blues.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. The worst months to skate.
Yes. That gets us right over that last hump, and then it starts to, we can start skating outside a little bit more. So it's really cool to see that. And at the end of that, we have a huge competition, which goes live on Twitch. We give away money, we give away prizes, we give away trophies, and every kid that's there is encouraged to participate. If it's the first time they step on the board, to a grizzled old veteran who just wants to roll around, we want you to compete just so that everybody can kind of cheer you on. But we do a lot of stuff like that. We do giveaways. We give away boards, which are usually about $150 a piece if you go to build one now. We get name brand boards and stuff to be able to give away to people who can't afford that. There's just lots of good things that we're doing in the community and working to get more parks fixed and new parks built.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that you're, setting things up so that kids, well, all ages who skate, instead of being on the sidewalks or around town where they could potentially be a little destructive with town landmarks, that sort of thing, or get hurt. Yeah, they have a place to go that is well kept and safe and everything. That's right. I think it's fantastic.
The idea is to get parks established and everything so we can do those things. You'll never stamp out street skating because that's where it was born.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So we try to encourage people to be safe as possible and everything, and try to encourage all that. And it is crazy that it's like you said, it's like all ages. It's really a 50-50 split. We've given away close to 40 boards at this point, full, complete, nice boards. Wow. And I'd say it's a 50-50 split between little kids and adults, like, because a lot of times adults are like, man, I loved skating, I want to get back into skating, I ain't got the scratch to get a board.
Oh, sure.
So we're able to help those people as well. So it's all over the place. It's pretty cool.
Well, very cool. So the Richland Gives, where could people go online to check out some of that and see if they're interested in helping out?
So there is a link that we have that I can post. But if you go to Facebook and or to skateohio.com, if you look up Skate Ohio in Facebook and Instagram in at skateohio.com, one of the links will be there. It'll say Richland Gives. I think it's powered by Mighty Cause, I think is the grand overseer of it with the website, because you basically make a page on this server and they can go visit your page. You could see all the different all the different opportunities, and then you can fill everything out there. So, but I'll have a link at any of those places. You just click on that, it'll take you right to our page, and you can check out all those things. And we have videos on there that show a lot of the projects we've already done. And then like our YouTube page, you just search Skate Ohio on YouTube. You'll see our YouTube page, and that'll also show you a lot of the videos. There's a professional video of like who we are. There's ones of our winter sessions and all that stuff. So you can see, actually go and see like all the good things that we've been doing.
Oh, fantastic. Well, BJ, I appreciate you bringing this up. And if anyone out there in listener land wants to go and check out some of that stuff, just head over to Skate Ohio or look them up on Facebook. So if you're ready, we can get into our check them out. So you ready, BJ?
Oh, I'm ready.
Check it out!
All right, so some things we've been doing this week. BJ, you are the guest, so I'm going to start with you, putting you on the spot. What's one of the things you've been kind of in media you've been checking out recently?
Forget what? Oh, we were watching the parade yesterday. For this, I was trying to remember where this one came from, but we were watching the parade, and Goku float came through, right?
Okay.
And my kids were asking a little bit. I'm like, man, I showed you guys that once. You hated it. And they're like, oh, really? And they're like, well, we were probably young. I'm like, you're right. You were young. So then yesterday we had some time, and I'm like, ooh, let's turn on. I got Lord Slug. I've got like a trilogy or a 5-pack or something. But I'm like, oh, let's turn on Lord Slug, because I remember there's a certain audio with that. I remember having it on the VHS, but there was like a bunch of hard rock bands in there. There's like the Disturbed songs in there. There's Boy Hits Car songs. All of it had like, it was like, I forget the name of that record label, but it was all these bands that were on this record label, and they were in this Dragon Ball Z movie.
Mm-hmm. Those early American dubs of those Dragon Ball Z stuff, they get weird and they're kind of rough.
It's the stuff that I remember. We watched Lord Slug, I don't know how many times when we were young, when we were teenagers, and it was just wild because I remember finding those songs. I'm like, that song's awesome. I remember that's how I found Boy Hits Car, and I love that band. And I remember making a Lord Slug CD, burning a CD with all those songs that I found on LimeWire. But so I showed them that, and they actually enjoyed it. They thought it was fun. It was very, it's very, I don't know, very silly, very over the top.
Oh, I mean, go back to the original Dragon Ball.
Oh, gosh. Dragon Ball. Like, cause I told him, I'm like, I'm not showing you Dragon Ball. One day, if you want to watch Dragon Ball, fine. I was never a huge fan of Dragon Ball. I came in at Dragon Ball Z. I came in at the Saiyan Saga, because they're like, well, how'd you do that? I'm like, it was on the TV when I got home from school. It was Toonami, and That's where I found it. So we watched that, and they actually enjoyed it. So I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe I'll show them Cooler's Revenge next or something.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I think your kids are about the right age at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
They're hitting that we're showing them more on that same line of showing them stuff. We found like the TNT version on our YouTube TV of Die Hard. And Hannah and I were just watching. The kids came in. And I'm like, well, it's TNT. How bad could it be? And they sat there and watched like the latter half of the movie with us. And like, this is awesome. What's next? Like Die Hard 2 was coming on. I'm like, let's watch some Die Hard 2. It's on TNT. How bad
All right.
could it be? And it did. It cut it out, to the point where it's like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. So
Sure.
they got to kind of see the overall story of those movies and enjoy them. So they thought that was cool. And I'm like, oh man, what other movies can I find on TNT to show my kids that are, rated R? But that was cool. The one thing that I've been trying to do as well is, we talked about it last time. My favorite like skateboarding game right now is Session. It's really cool. They had a DLC come out, which is called the Schoolyard Map. And I actually designed a speed run for that map for that game.
Oh, wow.
It's like
Cool.
You do a laser flip on every stair set in that, so you have to map it out, find all the stair sets. I think there's 28 stair sets, and laser flip every one of them. You have to have certain settings on, because you'll have to, like, for higher gaps, you have to hold one stick down, one stick up, or he falls. Any falls, you got to restart the whole thing.
Oh, geez.
So I got one good run once, and the timer wasn't going. And I was so mad because it's been hundreds of runs and I haven't gotten a good run since. Because like that game is also so buggy, you accidentally like put your board down wrong, he falls. Mm-hmm. So it's still like a very in development thing, but it was just it was a fun idea to figure out. And I'm like, this could be a speed run. I want to get a good run to throw it in that Reddit, that session Reddit, and be like, hey, I made the speed run. Somebody else break this.
You gotta flex on people every now and again, Absolutely.
But it's more of like, I just want to see like Nightspeeds, who is like one of the biggest session players right now. I'd love to see him do it and just destroy it.
Oh,
but it would also like it's another thing. It's like maybe it'll bring them to our page, and maybe they'll hear about the nonprofit, and maybe it'll something like that.
Hey, you never know, right?
Keep trying to schmooze your way into things.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's the goal. That's the goal, man. All right. So a couple.
The last thing I had is I just wanted to say, from when you were talking last week about Muppets 3D.
Yes.
When was the last time you guys have been to Muppets 3D?
Oh, it's been a number of years. I want to say probably maybe 10 years at least.
Sure.
Never been.
Yeah, I've never been actually.
Oh, okay. So it is phenomenal. You're talking to a guy who had a Muppet themed wedding. We are obsessed with the Muppets.
That's awesome.
It's our life. Like our colors were pink and green. All the cookies had the wedding photo of Kermit and Miss Piggy on it. Everything. They played the Muppets theme as we walked in.
Excellent.
That's who we are. So we love the Muppets. So we knew it was closing. We got to go again for like one last time, which was great, but it is very dated.
It is.
It's still awesome to diehard fans. My whole family, my kids love the Muppets too, because obviously we show them all the Muppets. I bought them all on the
you indoctrinated them.
Time Life, yeah, basically. So they love the Muppets too. They love all the new stuff. They love all anyway. But it's very dated. But the whole time, Hannah and I are saying, why aren't they going to just turn the stupid Aerosmith ride into a Muppets Mayhem ride? Because, dude, Mayhem was such a good show. It did okay. And there's no reason. It's their IP. They should just do that. And it was just we were celebrating in this house when we found out.
Well, excellent. Yeah. I'm thinking back to it. The last time I went to Muppet 3D, so it's all on screen, but there are a couple things like off to the side. The Statler and Waldorf were animatronic, if I remember right.
They are.
When I went, they were out of commission. They were just static. They did not mouths and they didn't move around, but I mean it was still fun. It was still good. And I remember back as a kid when everything was up and working the way it should be. But yeah, it must have just been in between maintenance cycles or something. But yeah, Statler and Waldorf, they just kind of sat there. But that's still cool. I mean, the sound still worked and everything.
They hadn't gotten their medicine yet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. They needed a nap,
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I get into my checkums, one thing you brought up the the popular music in anime movies. The whole time you were talking about the Dragon Ball Z film, I was thinking of the first Digimon movie that had Smash Mouth and a whole bunch of other like pop punk bands in it. Yeah,
I saw that movie in theaters. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Digimon.
All right, so things I've been doing. So the main thing is I started replaying a game called Cassette Beasts. It is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's an indie game that is. It would be reductive to say it's Pokemon-esque, but it is kind of Pokemon-esque.
Oh, it more than kind of.
Yeah. So it's 2-on-2 battles. It has a very, kind of street urban kind of aesthetic to it. And instead of throwing out a ball to catch things or what have you, you're recording them onto cassette tape. And you're like pressing play on a Walkman basically to send them out into battle. It's very cool.
You're like Soundwave from Transformers.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and you can fuse. Some can evolve, but they more than anything, you fuse two monsters together to get kind of a fusion. Basically, making a mixtape of two of the things that you catch to get more powerful guys to battle and stuff like that.
Don't you rewind the tape with a pencil to heal them?
You do, yeah. So it's really cool. It's really thematic with the whole cassette thing. And their devs, they put out free DLC all the time.
Nice.
They did have one paid DLC that added almost a whole second game to it. But a lot of their small quality of life stuff. And, one time they were just like, we just opened up a new area in the game. Here you go. It's free. Just download the update and you're done. So very cool. And they're regularly on sale. I have it on the Switch, but you can get it on PC and just about anything, I think. But yeah, Cassette Beasts. I would recommend that. And the other thing,
does it run okay on the Switch?
It runs fine.
That's good.
Yeah, most things, it runs fine.
Fine.
I have found that the new Vampire Survivor DLC will crash the Switch a lot. You get one too many things going, and it will just.
Your Switch back I give up.
Yeah, basically.
I can't
basically.
do it.
I was playing a little bit of Vampire Survivor last night, and the fan kicked on louder than I've ever heard it before.
Oh.
So, yeah, it is. You could tell Switch is kind of at its end of life, and it's time for that Switch, too. The other thing I checked out, and I checked this out specifically because I knew BJ was coming on the show, we're going to talk wrestling for a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been going back and, doing the history and things like that. And there were two events that I wanted to kind of check out. One is holiday appropriate. One is just kind of a big event that I wanted to know more about. The big one was the Montreal Screwjob. I know the players in it and what went into it, but I started watching. I think I watched 3 different YouTube documentaries, listening to various people talking about it.
Did you watch Wrestling with Shadows, Bret Hart?
I watched. Yes, that was one of them. Wrestling with Shadows.
That's my favorite.
So that one was really good. There was one from I think it's Cultaholic. They did a really good one. And the third one was just a random clip from some YouTube show that Jim Cornette was on. And I think he explained the Montreal Screwjob better than any of the documentaries.
There's so much to it, and there's so much lore behind it now. But essentially, Bret was going to leave, and he didn't want to drop the belt in his hometown. Right. And
he didn't want to drop it to Shawn Michaels, who was
not necessarily. He didn't get along with him, but he was just adamant about not dropping the belt in his hometown. He's like, I'll do it the next night on Raw, I promise.
Well, he didn't want to. His idea was just come out and just hand the belt over and not wrestle for it.
Yeah, there were so many things that went back and forth with that. Mm-hmm. But it ends with him spitting in McMahon's face and knocking him out.
Yeah, knocked him out backstage. Yeah.
For real?
For real. Oh, no.
For real.
This is a shoot, not a work.
Ooh.
Really did, yeah. So the whole thing was Bret was supposed to win in Montreal, and that's what all the producers, that's what everybody knew except Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels. And...
Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner, yes, thank you. and Hebner was like very reluctant to do this, but basically Sean at one part of the wrestling match, Sean was supposed to put Brett in his own finishing hold that Brett was going to then break out of, the sharpshooter. And Brett was about ready to break out of it, and Hebner was told, ring the bell, say that he tapped.
It gets worse than that because Brett asked him backstage, and he's like, you swear they're not going to screw me, and he's like, I swear on my kids' lives, there's nothing going on.
Well, Hebner told him that, and then was it Pat Patterson, I think, came to him and said, okay, this is what you're doing, and basically told him, Brett's going to go to WCW and make $2 million. What's your job looking like if you don't do this? So he was basically strong-armed into doing this, and apparently Hebner, as soon as the bell hit 3, he ran out of the building and left. Yes. And
in car with his brother,
with his twin brother, who was also a ref or was in wrestling at some point. And people know that because Jim Cornette, who originally just kind of suggested the idea as a kind of offhand, why don't you just screw him? Just make something up. It's your company. Just do it and get it done. Cornette was like, someone's going to come back here and kick my ass. He beat Hebner out of the building. So they're both in their cars trying to get out of there because they knew something was going to go down. And as it turns out, Brett knocked McMahon out. And it was actually the start of the Mr. McMahon villain character because he did a couple of interviews where he really came off sounding like a real jerk. Talking about it.
Real hard for Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah, right.
Such a great actor.
Yeah.
Dude, he gave the infamous, quite frankly, I think Brett screwed Brett.
Brett screwed Brett. That was the, yeah. The other thing, and this is a very quick one, then I'll jump off of it. So Survivor Series 1990. Do you know who debuted Survivor Series? The Gobbledy Gooker. That's right. The Gobbledy Gooker.
Maybe those are the years that I watched.
Yeah.
Was watching on pay-per-view.
Excellent. Yeah. So the Gobbledy Gooker, for people who don't know, leading up to Survivor Series, there was a giant egg that was in the stadiums, and on Survivor Series 90, it hatched, and a giant man turkey hatched from the egg. Yeah, he did not last long.
No. I don't remember. Like, I remember watching all that, and like even the next night of Raw, you're just like, what was that?
What was that? Yeah, yeah.
Hey, people say wrestling's fake.
Yeah. Well, do you know who the wrestler was in the costume, right?
Brooklyn Brawler.
No, it was Hector Guerrero. It was Eddie Guerrero's dad.
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
At least Hector Guerrero was the one that hatched out of the egg. Brooklyn Brawler might have been in it because Brooklyn Brawler, if there was a gimmick where his mask was covered or his face was covered, he would hop in there at some point. But no, the one that hatched out of the egg was Hector Guerrero.
That's funny.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so Josh, Cody, have you guys been doing anything this week?
Yeah, I got a few things.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So I've been watching Star Trek Prodigy. What?
I just looked up the Gobbledy Gooker.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Oh yeah,
it is great.
It's I say that the Gobbledy Gooker beats Mantar as awful wrestling gimmicks.
Everybody listening, stop and Google the Gobbledy Gooker.
Yep,
it's worth
right
the time.
now.
It's got big googly eyes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. He looks like Foghorn, Foghorn Leghorn in a pimp coat.
Oh yeah.
The first line of his Wikipedia page: it has subsequently attained a legacy as being one of the worst characters in the history of professional wrestling.
That's why I looked up Survivor Series 90, because I was like, I gotta see the Gobbledy Gooker. I gotta see this. And hey, holiday appropriate.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Gobble.
So Josh, sorry, you're to interrupt. You've been doing some stuff.
Yeah, so I've been watching that, and it's a good show, and it is legitimately a good show. Like, and I feel like there's a line somewhere in the first season where I feel like they really like aimed it at the people who really like talked crap about the show when it was first coming out. It feels like it's like the Clone Wars of Star Trek.
That's I can see that.
Like
okay.
both in like art style and tone of some episodes. But then you got your fun Star Trek stuff, and everybody who is a guest character actually has their actor come back and do the voice.
Oh yeah. What was
really?
it? What's her name?
Like Kate Mulgrew is both hologram Janeway and actual Janeway. Unfortunately, Beltane does come back as Chakotay.
Oh.
He stinks.
Yeah, Chakotay's not. Well, the actor who played Chakotay.
The whole thing around the creation of the Chakotay character is actually not that good.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So back when Star Trek Voyager was coming out, they wanted to have a native coded character on the show, and so they hired a quote unquote Native American consultant for cultural things and whatnot for the character, and they hired a Spanish man to play the character. Everybody lied on their resume. Beltane lied on his about saying he had native heritage, and the consultant lied.
It's like the Native American kid on Hey Dude. He was actually Hispanic.
Yeah. But no, the consultant was just kind of making stuff up.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
He full on had no idea, had no whatever what he was talking about, and it really sucks because Voyager is one of my favorite Star Trek shows.
It'd be
You
funny.
realize this happened a lot in the history of TV shows.
Oh,
like,
I know, way back in the day. I know.
The whole thing with the Native American and the crying when he's picking up the litter, that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's really good documentaries on all the shenanigans that went on with all that.
Yeah.
I would like to see Lower Decks explain it away.
That would be great.
Find a way around it to say, yeah, he was a fake and all this stuff was fake for X reasons.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that would be great.
Though in the second season of Prodigy, they do mention the Cerritos.
Oh, they do.
The Cerritos, yeah.
Oh, nice.
The holographic doctor makes a comment about it. He's like, I've never seen a crew more dysfunctional, and then he's like, except for them.
I caught up on Lower Decks the other day. Data was on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, it wasn't the same. It was Data from a alternate universe where everything is a little bit more purple.
Okay.
I love Lower Decks. I haven't seen a single episode of Lower Decks, and I know I love it.
So he was Purple Data.
Okay.
From a Purple Enterprise, but but it was a cool episode. They had to do a mission on a planet where time is dilated differently, and
okay, there is way too much time hijinks in Star Trek. I'm just putting that out there right now. There is way too much time hijinks of all the sci-fi shows, and this includes even Doctor Who, which
that's Time Hijinks the show.
I know.
Yeah.
There is way too many time travel hijinks in Star Trek. The fact that it's a constant theme in Prodigy.
It's a fun sci-fi trope.
Yeah, but it's super convoluted.
And it's super cheap because you just use the other sets that are filming a 1930s gangster movie or modern day sci-fi thing or whatever.
Or a Dickens Christmas.
Oh, a Dickens Christmas yeah. Some Regency era, whatever. Yeah.
Or or in the Next Generation, a lot of Old West stuff.
80% of Doctor Who episodes are Regency era.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because they were just filming Pride and Prejudice two sets over.
What do we have in the BBC costume closet?
Basically, yeah.
I watched a movie last night though called, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, Hundreds of Beavers.
No, I haven't.
It is the wildest movie I've seen in a long time. It's like an independent.
Is it a horror movie?
No, it's not a horror movie.
An independent film called Hundreds of Beavers.
Of Beavers.
I am shocked. I say.
It is basically a movie-length live-action Looney Tunes cartoon.
Really?
What?
It is in black and white. There's very little, if no, dialogue. And it's just a bunch of goofy Looney Tunes hijinks. It's about an applejacker who loses his orchard because of a beaver-related incident, who then, down on his luck, becomes a fur trapper and starts trapping these beavers. But anytime there's an animal on screen, it is somebody in cheap mascot costume of that animal.
Okay.
And it has some great gags in there. He teams up with like another trapper who knows what he's doing, and his dogs are getting picked off one by wolves. And at camp, first you've got the dogs playing poker in the background, and it's a bunch of dog mascot costume guys sitting there playing poker. But as they get picked off, their game they're playing changes. When it's just the two dogs left, they're playing like card flip war against each other. And when there's only one dog left, he's sitting there playing solitaire by himself.
Oh, jeez.
And that's kind of the level of joke that this movie has.
Okay, I'm in. That's like my humor right there. That's great.
It is so much fun, like goofy fun.
That's awesome. What year is it? New or is
it's new.
It's this year. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's this year, but it's relatively new.
Relatively new. Okay, cool.
What'd you watch it on?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
Hundreds of beavers.
Like towards the end, it starts turning into almost looks like a Mario Brothers level. The way he's jumping around.
Oh, really?
And then he gets into some crazy like wrestling looking fights with these mascot beavers. That just get completely out of control. It's wild.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds great.
They released a couple of Legacy of Kain games on the PlayStation Plus. The original Blood Omen and Blood Omen 2.
Oh, nice.
So I went through and I started the original Blood Omen. Oh God, it plays so bad.
Is it rough?
It's rough.
I was worried it might be rough.
It's rough. It was rough back in the day. Trying to play a Diablo-style slasher on a PlayStation. Oh, man. But it's kind of weird going back to like a game that old.
It's real hit or miss getting nostalgia and like vintage.
Yeah.
And nostalgia and bad.
Oh, yeah. Like I tried playing like the original Twisted Metal.
Oh,
that's no.
rough.
I don't know
That's
if that
rough.
was even good back in the day.
It controls like garbage, and I was like, how was I ever good at this game?
They don't even feel like cars. They feel like floating boxes.
Yeah. But Blood Omen was... I haven't delved into 2 yet, but I'm like contemplating pre-ordering the remaster of Soul Reaver 1 and 2.
I think Blood Omen 2 is more playable. I know it's been a long time.
Well, yeah, it's a third-person adventure game. It should be playable versus the original Blood Omen. I don't know. I kind of want to play through it because I never think I ever beat it originally. Back in the day, I think I just looked up the ending on like old YouTube.
I like how the vampires suck blood in those games where they just
It's at a distance.
Yeah, they just pull it out of you.
Like Magneto.
It's very cool looking, especially in the 3D one.
Yeah, it definitely carries that aesthetic through the whole series. Like playing through, because I love the Legacy of Kain series. Like that was my gothic horror. Aside from Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is one of my favorite video games.
Blood,
like period.
Did you ever play the one before that, Redemption?
Yeah, that one's okay.
Yeah, that's another Diablo.
Yeah, it's like weird Diablo.
Yeah, but that one was interesting because I liked the idea. Like there, I remember there was one point in the game you were awake during the day, but you were underground, and you had to like avoid like all the light shafts and stuff, like in the sewers or whatever. But no, Bloodlines. Oh man, I played Bloodlines so many times. That haunted house level is wild.
Oh yeah.
Or that haunted hotel on the beach or whatever it was.
Like poltergeist crap just starts happening, and it's throwing pots and pans at you in the kitchen.
Chairs and
it's all from first person. It's a first person game, so you've got chairs and pots and pans.
Oh, nice.
And there's like no actual combat in the whole hotel. It's all just like a lineup of scares. And it's so good.
And trying to solve like the puzzle or whatever, like find the key to this door to go this way to find this thing.
Yeah, you uncover the reason why it's haunted as you go.
And then you like help like release the spirit or whatever, so these corporate vampires can buy this stupid hotel.
Yeah, it's such good quest design and storytelling.
Yeah, the whole game is great. Like between like waking up as a vampire in that alley with that Bruja guy and
with Jake the dog.
Jake the dog, yeah. I forgot that's what his stupid name was.
No, he's voiced by John DiMaggio.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Right.
And his name is, I think his name is, it might actually be Jake, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a Bruja, so he's all kind of like he's a biker vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's actually a former pirate.
Oh, cool.
that's right. Or was he a Viking?
No, he's a pirate.
Was he a pirate?
Yeah.
It has been so long since I played.
It hasn't been
Bloodlines.
that long since it's just like every couple years I'm like, I gotta play Vampire again.
Yep.
And I've never finished it.
I haven't either. Like, I get to the part where, like, the vampire hunters start coming after you, and then, I don't know, for some reason, I think, like, the old version of the game I had, like, glitched or something, and I was stuck.
Yeah, there's a ton of fan-made patches now that if you apply it, you'll have a much better experience. But I think last time I didn't finish it because it glitched out on me at you have to fight 2 twin vampires, and for some reason it, like, glitched me out of bounds or something. And I didn't have a backup save, so I'm like, well, this isn't the time I do it either.
All right. Well, I hate to cut you off here, but we need to go ahead and jump into the second half of the show. Let's talk about some news. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some stuff here.
Well, speaking of pirates and corporate greed, let's talk about Elon Musk.
Do we have to?
If we must.
We must.
If we must.
Yes, if we must.
If we Musk.
Yeah.
What's that smell I'm smelling in here? Oh, it's the musk.
Ooh, that smell.
So I guess the couple of things here, Elon Musk has decided to open up his own game studio. I don't know anything about this other than the headline because I refuse to read about it.
Well, he said it's going to be an AI-powered game studio, whatever that means. I guess it means nobody's going to do any actual work.
Right.
And he called it. You could probably guess what he named it.
Is it something with an X?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
It's AIX.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And AI generation on games, it doesn't work. It does. No.
Mobile games and mobile game ads have been going nuts with that stuff lately.
I'm just excited for him to learn that game development is actually extremely difficult.
Of course, he won't actually be doing anything with it.
Well, development of anything is hard, but he doesn't know that because he just throws money at stuff so they can put his name on it.
Yeah, they'll hire a bunch of AI bros that also don't know how to do a game design either. They just know how to put prompts into AI generator, and then they'll make
spit out some code that's not right.
Yeah, well, no, they'll make like all of those like grifty blockchain games that that used to be everywhere. That's the level of quality I bet we'll get out of AIX.
Yeah, and the other bit of news, and this one hits a little closer to home, Elon has very lightly teased that he is interested in trying to buy Hasbro, the games and toy company, solely because he wants to own D&D to, quote, unwokeify it.
Shut up.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing, because the people, the folks that are in charge of it now, they've kind of gone back through and they've revised a lot of their text for D&D 2024. It's a lot of, they use they instead of he or she in the books, which is fine because that's a textbook. You want to be gender neutral with that stuff. They've revised stuff like that is inconsequential.
They changed race to species, which makes more sense.
It makes more sense. Yeah. So and certain amount of people who are, a certain amount of people are up in arms about this and complain to Daddy Musk, and apparently he wants to try to buy Hasbro, not realizing that it's more than just D&D and Magic the Gathering.
No. He'll buy it. He'll walk in with the kitchen sink. He'll fire all those toys.
Yeah.
And then he'll make $1 billion off of that somehow, and then he'll be able to focus on D&D.
He'll somehow make an AI version of Transformers or something. Ugh. And he'll ruin it just like he's ruined just about everything else he's touched.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be able to buy it.
I don't think he will either.
I don't think they'll bite. I really don't think they will.
There's too many moving parts with Hasbro.
There are.
And it's like publicly traded. Well, I guess Twitter was too, but even then, there's so many.
Twitter was just Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, Hasbro has its tentacles in everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this isn't going to happen. But the fact that he has the delusion of thinking that he could do something like that is just. But on the flip side, people seem to be flocking to Bluesky, the Twitter or X, I guess, alternative that is, in my experience, way better.
Well, yeah, just from the ads alone, you don't have to look at like
a million ads
for like really questionable products nowadays.
Yeah. It's rough, but Bluesky seems to be the place to be. It seems like that's the one that won over Mastodon and Threads, which makes me very happy because I really didn't want to give Facebook Meta more of my information because that's Threads. And you know what? If you don't want any of the, people delivering things for you, and you just want to see the people that you followed and that's it, you can do that on Bluesky. There's no tricks you have to pull or anything like that. It just says your feed and it's just the people that you followed and no one else.
Yeah,
it's great.
Ever since the election happened, Bluesky has just been blowing up too.
They're
really
has.
Over millions of users at this point.
Oh yeah. It like overnight it went. Yeah, it just absolutely exploded, and it's great. It's great.
I'm glad we've, as a whole, collectively decided what the app is.
Screw all that noise.
Yeah, because there's been so many alternatives and none of them have stuck until I think this is the one.
I think this is the one that's going to stick around. Yeah. But
the contender.
Yeah. So let's jump off of all of this and head over to some other news here. This is a quick one. Ryan Reynolds' production company, Maximum Effort, along with the writer-director of his movie Free Guy, are working on an animated Mighty Mouse film.
Have they said is it going to be like an R-rated Mighty Mouse or?
They haven't said yet, but I'm kind of hoping it is, because Mighty Mouse is a kid's property, but also Mighty Mouse.
It's also a dead property.
It's also a dead property. No one's thought about Mighty Mouse in 50 years.
Nobody who knows who Mighty Mouse is can't go to an R-rated movie.
Yes.
Ain't that the truth?
So they could very easily reintroduce the character in whatever fashion they want, and it's not going to hurt people's feelings.
Here I am to save the day. Is that Mighty Mouse?
That is.
Here I am to save the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought that was Mighty Mouse.
That is Mighty Mouse.
These days, the only thing that people know about Mighty Mouse is that that Andy Kaufman bit from one of the first Saturday Night Lives, and people don't even know that one well.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I used to watch old vintage episodes of Mighty Mouse. I even had a Mighty Mouse pin on a hat that I had in school.
He looks like Mickey Mouse with a facial deformity.
A little bit. In the 80s, it got kind of weird because Ralph Bakshi did the new Mighty Mouse. Ralph Bakshi was the guy who did Fritz the Cat and a bunch of...
I think John Kay worked on it, too.
I think he did as well, yeah. John Kay was the Ren and Stimpy guy. But yeah, it was weird. It was bizarre, but
I'm
was
sorry to bring up
cool.
John Kay.
Yeah, it happens.
Don't look him up or interact with anything he's done.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to say about Mighty Mouse.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Might as well also bring back Underdog while you're at it.
We had an Underdog movie. It was bad.
That live action one? Yeah. Oh, gross. No.
I never watched it.
It was terrible.
I loved Underdog when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, I did too.
Oh,
but that was like that era where they kept trying to take like outlier animated properties and try to make them into movies. Like you had the Rocky and Bullwinkle, you had the George of the Jungle, you had
Dudley. The movie is dope.
It is.
That one's good.
I do like George of the Jungle, and then you had Dudley Do Right, which also starred Brendan Fraser.
But that was bad.
That was also bad.
It's boomer cartoons.
Yeah, they were all boomer cartoons.
And now they're doing that now, but with our cartoons. It's the same thing.
Yeah, kind of.
It's cyclical.
It is.
Time is a flat circle.
I mean, they've been doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles forever, and that is definitely my thing.
Oh, that's one of those. It's an evergreen property, like Power Rangers.
Except Power Rangers won't be.
Power Rangers is no longer an evergreen project because it is now dead.
Okay, Pokemon.
Dead in the ground. Okay, Pokemon. Sure.
It's a better example, Pokemon.
Yep.
Batman.
Oh, sure, Batman. Couple of hints at movie sequels. Tron is getting...
Yes. The director of Tron Ares has said that it is going to be grittier and more industrial.
Just like what nobody wanted.
Which is the complete opposite of what Tron is.
Hey, so here's a controversial take. I don't care for Tron.
That's fine.
I think most people don't get that crazy about it. I mean, I liked the original, and I watched the first reboot, and
well, it wasn't a reboot. It is a sequel.
Yeah, that was a sequel. It was
Legacy was a sequel.
I thought Legacy was fine. I love the original Tron, but it's exactly the kind of thing that is up my alley. Like
Sure.
80s computer stuff.
But that's the thing. It should be up my alley as well, but the original Tron to me is an interesting gimmick and nothing else.
Oh, it definitely didn't need a sequel 30 years later.
No, and I mean the sequel is an middling okay action film.
That soundtrack is great, though.
Well, Daft Punk, yeah, you can't beat that. No, I agree with you there, but
I liked Olivia Wilde in it.
Well, sure. Well, I mean,
Also,
Olivia
who
Wilde,
didn't?
of course, you know. But yeah, I don't care about Tron. I don't.
I also hate the fact that Jared Leto is in Tron Ares.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a problem. So
This keeps sounding worse.
I know.
Yep.
I know. It's basically all the stuff they did with like Blade Runner 2049, but it probably won't be as good as Blade Runner 2049.
also, the series is named after a character that does nothing.
Tron.
Tron, the character,
oh yeah.
he does nothing.
He fights for the user is what he does.
He doesn't. He says that, and he is the equivalent of that Sailor Moon meme where
My
Tuxedo says,
my work here is
my
done.
work here is done, but you didn't do anything. I fight for the user, but you haven't fought anything. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flynn definitely kind of does all the work.
Yeah, because he's the main character.
Well, yeah.
But
Is Jeff Bridges going to be in this one?
I
don't
hope so.
know. I don't know.
Why not?
Well,
I love Jeff Bridges.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
that?
The last
I wanna
couple of
see him
things,
do more things.
the last couple of things he's done, he's been kind of rough in.
They're not gonna do Lebowski 2, so he better do other stuff.
That's fair. Yeah.
At least I hope they don't do Lebowski 2.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah, let's see geriatric John Goodman and Jeff Bridges. And
Where'd you guys fall on The Giver, the movie The Giver?
I never
never
saw it.
saw the movie. I liked the book.
I loved the book, and we loved the movie. I thought they did a fantastic job.
It's one of those that I wanted to see and then just never got around to it. But I liked the book a lot. I mean, it's been a number of years. It's been since junior high, since I've read it. So, at least a couple of years. But
We read it to the kids.
Oh,
It was one of those
that's-
that we passed around and read.
Okay, well that makes sense. But no, I just haven't seen it.
I like the Chapel Roan song.
There's a song called The Giver?
Yeah, it's the one she did on SNL.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been like actually released, but she did it on SNL. It's pretty good.
So it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. I'll be honest, I haven't listened to a lot of Chapel Rowan.
the only
People talk about her a lot.
the
and
only thing I know is
Hot to Go.
yeah.
I know that she dressed up in armor for that. Was it the Video
MTV.
Music Awards?
Yeah,
or
that was
MTV?
awesome. That looked awesome.
I saw where one of the Simpsons voice actors is retiring.
Yeah, that's good news that we didn't put on the board. Millhouse, the voice of Millhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's retiring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to recast Millhouse.
Fine.
Maybe Millhouse will finally hit puberty. Hey, you want to talk about other, cartoon properties that are getting turned into bad horror movies?
Oh yeah, it seems to be a trend that if your old cartoon goes into public domain, someone is going to make a bad horror movie about it.
For sure.
We had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2.
I can't believe they crapped out 2 of those so quick.
Well, the second one had Tigger in it because they had
The wonderful thing about Tiggers.
So the first one didn't have Tigger because he wasn't.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about Tigger is that
Is
Tigger
he's the
hit
only
the
one.
public domain later.
Yeah. And then there was the Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not called Steamboat Killy.
Yeah, that would be a great.
That'd be a fantastic name.
Yeah.
So $1 million for that. So we're getting Popeye the Slayer Man.
It's a good pun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's a middle pun. Middle. It's not great.
I would do this as the Lighthouse, but with Popeye characters. Why don't they just do that?
That would be much better. Sure.
Oh yeah, they could have made it black and white.
Yeah, that would have been, that would have been really cool.
Well, dude, that'd be funny.
And the saddest thing is, this Popeye the Slayer Man will probably be a better film than the actual Popeye live-action movie with Robin Williams.
I like that movie.
That's rough. It's rough.
It is a rough
Have you
movie.
watched it recently? It's a rough watch.
No, it's been a minute.
Okay, yeah.
It's
on the same lines. We watched Jingle All the Way last night. That one not really holding.
That one is very of its time.
It is 100%. I kept saying to the kids, I'm like, it was the 90s, dude. I don't know what.
Turbo Action Man.
Oh, dude, it's a rough watch.
So
Nobody wants a booster.
So
it's not even Arnold. It is Phil Hartman is just so creepy.
Yeah, well,
he's trying to bang all the moms in the neighborhood. It's just wild, dude.
Oh, these cookies.
Was that Phil Hartman?
It was Phil Hartman. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Tom Arnold.
No. Oh no. No, this is a good movie. It's Phil Hartman.
But no, up in Medina, there's a Christmas museum called Casa Noel. He has a bunch of the old Jingle All the Way stuff.
Oh, really?
He has the suit that Arnold wore. He has like the weird pink werewolf.
That's Booster.
Oh yeah. He's got
Nobody wants the Booster.
Yeah,
Nobody wants Booster.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of weirds. And a bunch of Grinch stuff. A bunch of Jim Carrey Grinch stuff.
It's a 90s movie because Sinbad was in it in a prominent role.
Yes. I really like Coneheads. Coneheads is my go-to. Sinbad 90s cameo.
Oh yeah, he had a cameo in that.
He was the driving instructor and like his first boss.
That's right.
Great and Good Burger.
Great and Good Burger. I need to see Good Burger too.
I don't know. The amount of makeup they put on Kel Mitchell's face to like make him look like Ed again is ridiculous.
Whatever you gotta do.
It made him look like in like the one trailer. He looked like Odo from DS9. Like he was smooth.
It's like what they did to Pee-wee in the Netflix Pee-wee special. They had to kick him up and it looked fine. Yeah, he looked like Pee-wee.
His makeup was always kind of caked up though.
That's true. That's true.
Did you just say that Pee-wee was always caked up?
Oh my God.
Oh, look at that.
You're in timeout.
There is no way that skinny body had a dump truck.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, I think we've hit time here. Again, I want to thank BJ for coming on the show. One more time, BJ, if you want to go ahead and plug your stuff here.
You could find us on social media. That we've got TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and we are not on Twitter. I don't want to be in that volatile mind space ever. We'll probably be on Bluesky at some point, but just search Skate Ohio on all those. You'll see, what we're doing, what we're up to. There's a Facebook group as well where a lot of that information goes into first. Richland Gives, again, goes now through December 3rd. December 3rd is the big day. That's Giving Tuesday. So if you want to support us and what we do, then that's where you go to find out the best ways to do that. There'll be links at all those places. Please just go and check it out and kind of see the good things that we're doing for the community. And it's not just our area and Richland County. I got contacted by Toledo, Gahanna, some of these other places that kind of see what we're doing. They're looking for some help in those areas too. So we're trying to come up with a blueprint that we can go into other cities, use what we've learned, what we've done, walk into another city and be like, if you need a grassroots program to get something done, this is the way to do it. So, but yeah, those are the things that we. There's one little thing that I want to say right here at the end as well. I was watching Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you guys know him. He's just a big financial guy, very motivating speaker guy. Watch a lot of his stuff. But he had said, if you're doing stuff with podcasts, everybody has their top 7 podcasts. It's statistically proven people have no more than 7 that they are very dedicated to. This podcast, Nerd Overload, is one of my 7. I absolutely love this podcast.
Well, thank you very much. Wow.
I do enjoy it very much.
Wow, you're going to make me tear up over here.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. On that note, you've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on all our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, at links.nerdoverload.com.
You can send us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com or even a voice message through email on your phone. Those are easy to do.
Yeah. We'll have another phone number here soon. We'll get it figured out.
I'll remember to set it up.
Hey, there we go.
eventually.
Yeah. You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Finally, I'd like to, again, thank BJ for being on the show, Parker for helping us out at the Facebook page, and David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I'm going to go home and reinstall Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on my computer.